Why do I go to all this trouble to gather pine pollen? Because of pancakes. Pine pollen pancakes are delicious. You try ordering pine pollen pancakes at your local pancake house. It can't be done. But you could make them yourself if you get your own pine pollen. I'm going to show you 2 versions of pine pollen pancakes with 2 kinds of wild huckleberries that don't grow anywhere else except right along the west coast of North America. But don't worry, I'm sure you can find some sort of berry to get into your own pine pollen pancakes. Hey, welcome to Haphazard Homestead. I'm Holly Chris. I'm glad you're here. Let me know down in the comments below which of these 2 kinds of pancakes you would prefer if you were going to be eating at the Haphazard Homestead House of Pancakes. I'm starting off with plenty of pine pollen that I pick and process in the spring. Pine pollen is so amazing for baking. It's like a superfine flour that brings a lot of air and fluffiness into whatever you're cooking with it. And it brings a really nice nutty flavor too. Let's start off with a pine pollen pancake version number 1, and that's with the Red Huckleberry. Red huckleberries are so much fun to find in the woods when I'm out looking for mushrooms in the summer. Red huckleberries like to grow in the forest, where their roots can grow deep into the decomposing stumps and logs that hold so much rainwater in their punky wood that huckleberries can get through even 4 months without rain in the summer. There is nothing quite like this tart flavor of the red huckleberry. You can see how they're in the blueberry family by looking at that white blueberry-style flower and by that distinctive blueberry-style bottom on the fruit. The red huckleberry is neat too because it has these green branches that kind of grow in a zigzag pattern. Now there are more efficient ways to pick red huckleberries. You can lay a sheet down and just shake the branch or hit it to get the ripe red berries to fall off, but I think you can see how these berries grow better if I turn this branch upside down. You can see how they grow one by one by one instead of being in clusters like some berries. If you are going to pick the berries by hand, don't pull them off the branch, otherwise a lot of the ripe ones will fall off. Instead, just roll the berries off into your hand. Just roll them off. Here in the kitchen, the amount of pancakes that I can make depends on how much pine pollen that I have. I use 1/2 pine pollen and 1/2 regular flour. Do not skimp on the pine pollen. You'll find recipes that say, oh, use a tablespoon or a couple of tablespoons. No, go 1/2 pine pollen and 1/2 regular flour. For the liquid, I use water or milk or buttermilk. It all works out great. In this version of the pine pollen pancake, I'm using the superfine pollen for the leavening in the pancake and stirring the air into the batter. I want to make the batter like cake batter, really kind of on the thin side rather than thick. Once I've gotten all the lumps out of my batter, then I'm adding the red huckleberries. I need to be considerate here because I don't want to crush these berries. What the heck, just put them all in there. That's why you have to pick clean, people. Pick clean. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. This will be like blueberry pancakes, only it's going to be red and yellow. I can always add a little more raw milk if it starts getting too thick. I still want it like a pancake. I don't want it like a fritter. I want it like a pancake. Not too thick. Alright, I'm going to add that to the skillet. In cooking my pine pollen pancakes, I like putting a lid on my pancake skillet so the top cooks too. The key in a pine pollen pancake is to don't get in a hurry. Cook the pancakes on a low and slow heat. They need time to rise up. Not quite done. I just need to let them cook a little longer. Let it cook slow. Oh yeah, look how, see how that's risen up all nice? And that's pretty well cooked. That's nice and puffy. That's not, that's just a little bit. I'm going to turn that over. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Be sure to vote down in the comments about which kind of pine pollen pancake you'd prefer. Alright, how are these pancakes? Let's find out. Yeah, that is super, super delicious. Pine pollen makes that pancake so good. A nutty flavor, really fine flour texture. And the huckleberries with their sour spark just is wonderful. Man, that's good. I could eat that every day, but I need more pine pollen. Here's pine pollen pancake number 2 with the Evergreen Huckleberry. Evergreen huckleberries have an even more narrow range where they grow wild than the red huckleberry. They grow right along the west coast, close to the ocean. These huckleberries have a later season. I can find them from the summer all through the autumn. They are in the blueberry family too, but their leaves stay on all year long, and the ripe berries are black instead of red. You can see that the berries hang on the branch differently too. They're in clusters of different stages of ripeness. When they're ripe, the berries of the evergreen huckleberry are black, and they have a more sweet than tart taste compared to the red huckleberries. There can be a lot of evergreen huckleberries when you find a good stand. Like before, I'm not picking these berries in the most efficient way, but I'm just trying to get enough for some pine pollen pancakes and for snacking too. Back in the kitchen, I'm making a little change in the pine pollen pancake batter. I'm adding a pinch of baking soda to react with the buttermilk that I'm using for the liquid. Pine pollen tastes so good. Evergreen huckleberries, I'm mainly looking to see if there are any bad berries, moldy berries. You never know what you get in there. Green berries, they don't hurt anything, but just kind of pick through the berries. It's not like buying berries from the store. Kind of just get in there and get out. That's a good little berry. These are little flavor-packed berries. Dump all those in my pancakes. I'm going to make pancakes now. Sometimes I might have a little too much butter in the skillet. They don't really need a lot of butter if you've got a well-seasoned skillet. Oh yeah, look at that. That is a perfect little pancake. Look at that. That is a perfect little pancake. You want one big pancake? Probably should water that down a little bit. There we go. That's a forgiving little pancake. Once you use baking soda and buttermilk, just like any pancake, when you start seeing those little holes, that's a good sign. You can't make a pancake do this on high heat. It's got to be on low heat. But see how it kind of cooks? You get the holes all the way through it. You don't have to have a lot of butter. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. See how that's nice? See how nice that is? Oh yeah, that is a perfect pollen pancake. I have the heat setting at just 1 above low. I have a nice slow cooking pancake. Let's give these pancakes a taste. That is so good. I just taste like the forest. There is never enough pine pollen. If you're cooking with pine pollen, let me and everyone else know how you're doing it down in the comments below. I'd really like to know. If you are interested in using pine pollen for cooking other things, check out this video here. I hope things are going well at your place. Thanks for watching. Bye.